All right, welcome back to Drinking It In. I am your host, Chris Casara. We are here to help you know more and drink better. And today, we're diving deep into Napa Valley Cabernet. I think it's everyone's favorite, and I say everyone, at least in the U.S. I think Napa Cabernet Sauvignon holds a special place in most people's hearts because they're just they're so delicious, right? And they tend to be pretty accessible and usually around the first thing that somebody drinks. And I think Napa Cabernet gets people into wine, and then from there, people tend to branch out. So Sojourn Cellars, I think if you've seen any of the videos on my channel, you know that I'm a big fan of these guys, Sojourn, mostly with their Pinot Noir. But what they also do is they also do Chardonnays, but they also release Cabernet Sauvignons from Napa Valley, and in this case also from the Spring Mountain District, which is a sub-region within the Napa Valley. So I figured it would be a good time to dive deep into Napa Valley Cabernet, take a couple bottles out of the cellar, and see what we get. These are from 2009. Both are from 2009 vintage, and we're going to do a little compare and contrast. And I'm going to enjoy some Cabernet Sauvignon. So the first one that I had poured is the Napa Valley, just the Napa Valley designation. Okay, and the next one is a Napa Valley designation, but like I said, from the Spring Mountain District, which is a much more focused area. So smells like Napa Cabernet. When you drink enough Napa Cabernet, you to me, it's very familiar. It's not quite as familiar as New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, but for me, it's a pretty close second. Like whenever I smell a Napa Cabernet in the glass, like it is just distinct. Maybe that's because I've gone to Napa a couple times. Done some amazing tastings. Actually, these guys are based in Sonoma, at least where their tasting room is, and I was fortunate enough to do a tasting there, which was just such a good time. Delicious, delicious stuff, always. Get on their mailing list. I'll put a link down in the description in terms of their mailing list, because that's how I got exposed to them. I think it was a blog called the Wellesley Wine Press. I'll link that up below as well, like where he had called out a special that they were doing, or just that, being in Massachusetts, to get on wine list of places in California where you can actually get wine. The state's tough. And I did it once and then I was hooked. So Napa Cabernet Sauvignon's going to smell like a, California sunshine and jam in a glass. This one's no different, but I think, when we think about the last couple of months, all I've been doing on this, or most of what I've been doing on this channel, is very European and focused. And, there's lots of austere notes or, savory notes that come up in these wines. And when you're drinking Napa Cabernets, you don't tend to get a lot of that stuff. There is some earth and dirt, but this is mostly spices and deep, dark fruit, and it's bright. It's almost like, the American spirit is very bright, whereas people in Europe are much more reserved and generally probably more complex. But don't tell anybody in the U.S. So this guy, just so you know exactly where it's coming from, it's the grapes come from the Valley Floor vineyards, as well as from renowned Napa Valley hillside vineyards, which I think probably has some of the Spring Mountain fruit in it, but I'd have to check in with the folks at Sojourn to find that out. It's loaded with black fruit. It's just like black cherries and blackberries and a little jam. So I'm going to say a sugary note. There's a touch of vanilla. I'm sure there was oak involved here, though it doesn't say on the bottom. And it's just beautiful. I'm going to try to spit off camera so nobody has to watch that anymore. I'm getting feedback. Not everybody loves that. So, I mean, these are, you know, I often say wine either has a delicious factor, or if it doesn't, this definitely has the delicious factor. I think there's some, you know, those blackberries are ever present. There's, I'm going to say chocolate and vanilla notes in here. And this one doesn't drink very heavy. So, you know, sometimes, you know, Napa Reds can be really big and you feel the alcohol. This is really well balanced. You don't feel it at all. And, you know, I think, you know, this is 11 years after release, but more good work. Just such good work by these guys at Sojourn. My compliments to Eric Bradley and Craig Hassero. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. All right, so moving on. 2009 Sojourn Cabernet Sauvignon Napa Valley Spring Mountain District. So if you're familiar, actually I'm going to rinse this glass out with this guy. So if you're familiar with Napa AVAs, like the appellations, Spring Mountain, what these Cabernets tend to be is, I mean, they're everything that, you know, a Napa Cabernet is, but they tend to be a little lighter, a little brighter, and have more acid than a lot of the Cabernets you find from the Napa Valley. So, I mean, we'll see if this holds, but that's, you know, been my experience and you know, based on what the research says as well. Yeah, so this is, it's brighter. It's funny. It's cherries, but it's more, the cherries are red. They're not black. And it's almost like the fruit is a little more tart. So it's not quite like, actually, I'm going to say raspberries. I was going to say it's not quite like cranberries. It's not. It's like red cherries and raspberries, as opposed to, you know, the black cherry, blackberry, that type of feel. I almost get a little bit of a coffee note, and there's almost a menthol component coming through. There's a lot happening in this. And these wines, again, these are from 2009. They've got plenty of life left in them. Wow. So this is sort of like a, it's funny, I get almost like a mint chocolate chip vibe to it. But, you know, the acid's there, still plenty of tannin. So this would stand up very well. Let's rewind. This would stand up great, very well to a, you know, a nice fatty steak. It'd be fantastic. It's really easy on the nose. Really easy on the nose. Could sit here and smell this all day. Yeah, that minty note, that menthol note, it's very subtle, but it actually, it really like fills up, you know, kind of fills up your nose. It's almost like you get a little bit of a, like there's a touch too much wasabi you put on your sushi, and your eyes tear a bit. You feel it more than you taste it, and that's what I'm getting here. There's a lot going on in this. I'm gonna taste both of these again, I think, tomorrow. I don't know, maybe we'll add it on to this, make it a real deep dive, because, you know, I think you don't have to worry about necessarily finishing bottles like this immediately, or, you know, immediately in one day. They can last 2 to 3 days, and if you put them in the fridge, you know, who knows? Could even go a fourth and fifth. But I'm gonna, I'll come back to these tomorrow, just see if they've evolved further. But two big winners as always from Sojourn. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. You learned a little bit about Napa Valley. You maybe learned a little bit about a new producer you should start stalking. And I'll I'll see you soon. Actually, I'm going to see you for day 2 now. All right, back for day 2 on the Sojourn Cabernet deep dive here. We've got, let's see, the Napa Cabernet, and then the Spring Mountain District Cabernet from the Napa Valley. I'm going to start off with the regular Napa. This one was, the darker of the two. But still pretty lively, but definitely dark. This is sort of, on day 2, it's sort of turned into a bit of a vanilla bomb. Right, a lot of vanilla on the nose. The black fruit's still there, but any spice or stuff like that has kind of blown off. Still nice and tangy. Really hardcore vanilla though. So I think maybe that one went a little too far to the towards that vanilla zone. So probably best to do most of the damage on day 1. So Spring Mountain District Cabernet. Do a little rinse. This one was brighter, lighter, more red than black, if we remember that. Let us see. Yeah, it's still alive, very alive. I don't know, this one might have even gotten better on the second day. The fruit has definitely turned a little darker, so it's still tangy. There's almost like there's a cranberry in there, but it's very much in the blackberry family now. A little tobacco kind of comes through. Didn't get it the first time. So all in all, both of these wines are great. But if I was forced to choose one, I'd definitely go Spring Mountain District. And it's not necessarily a big surprise because I have had a number of Cabernets from the Spring Mountain District in Napa and really enjoyed them. Tend to gravitate towards those guys. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this little bit of a deep dive on Napa Cabernets through 2009 Sojourn Cellars. And I'll see you again soon. Cheers. Hey guys, it's Chris. I wanted to thank you for watching the video. I wanted to encourage you to like and subscribe, tell your friends, share it on any platform that you can, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Put that bell on so that whenever I release a video, you get notified right away.